Hi everyone, I'm Michael Manrique and I'm one of the Habit Guys. We teach realtors prospecting habits when they finally become top producing agents. And welcome to the Realtor Habits Podcast, where agents don't need more stuff, they need better habits. Before we get into today's episode, I want to let you know this episode is brought to you by our Habit Guys Facebook group. We all want to prospect consistently and be more organized. Well, to do that, we need to think, do, and act like a top producer. Watch us prospect live and teach you every week for free in our free Facebook group how to get more expired listings, FSBOs listings, how to connect with your sphere, how to really learn how to not sound salesy, but instead just serve and make friends. Watch the highs and lows that come with prospecting in real time and get the opportunity to ask questions in the moment. All you have to do is visit us at habitguys.com/Facebook. Again, that's habitguys.com/Facebook, and learn all the skills top producers use in their day-to-day business. If you know anyone that can gain value from this podcast, please do us a huge favor and share it with them. We're here to help as many realtors as possible, and we appreciate your help to do so. All right, let's get into today's episode. Today's episode is called 3-Step Blueprint to Creating a Powerful Daily Routine. How many steps? 1, 2, 3. 3 steps.
He was actually counting with his fingers, by the way, in case you're wondering. So, hey everyone, how's it going? Because this is it, Mike. Everyone's talking about resolutions, goal setting, right? New year, new me. And what do you do now? It's like what to do now. Everyone's got business plans or new routines or workouts or cleansing diets, all these things.
Correct.
This is the season.
That's right.
So let's discuss the foundation of actually making it happen and actually implementing this, because we're all about making change.
Absolutely.
At the Habit Guys. We're not about motivation and rah and all that. So we need to make sure that our listeners actually execute.
Yeah, and the problem that most of you have is that you have all these ideas, you have all these wants and desires, but you just don't act on it. Maybe you act on it for a day, maybe even a week.
Yeah.
And then what happens? A few weeks later, you're off your routine. You're off not doing the things that you know you should be doing. So today, let's focus on the 3 steps, this blueprint that's going to help you create the most powerful daily routine to help you move forward, not only in your business, but in your personal life.
Absolutely.
So step 1 is energizing morning launch.
Oh, this is big. This hits home for me because I'm not a morning person. And if you look at all top producers in any kind of space, how they start their day is so important. And I did not realize how important this was. And having an actual morning routine, but not just because everyone has a morning routine, but is your morning routine serving you?
Yes.
Like, that's the biggest piece.
Yeah, is your morning routine aligned with the goals you want to accomplish, right? Ultimately, who do you want to become, right? And this goes back to understanding that every decision we make matters. And if we really think of it that way, all of a sudden we start noticing that, you know what, maybe looking at social media first thing in the morning is not the best idea. Maybe, watching the news in the morning, not the best idea, right? There's going to be certain activities that we know for sure are going to cause us to not feel energized, excited about what we have ahead of us, which is connecting with people, prospecting. And if you're having difficulty doing that, by putting yourself in a mood that either gets you really down or maybe even really calm, guess what? You're not going to take the actions necessary to get you to what is important to move your business forward.
And some listeners, Mike, are probably like, oh, I just wake up. I'm going to go to the gym tomorrow morning. I know what I have to do. I'm going to make my calls tomorrow. I'm going to wake up tomorrow and just do it. And then they wake up and then they check their phone. Their kids wake them up, whatever. And then all of a sudden, that one decision, that one action just takes them down a rabbit hole. And then they're just chasing their day down, right? They have no system in place. They don't know what they're saying yes or no to. So what you just said, Mike, each decision does matter. And in fact, if you're listening to this and you would like a morning routine, guys, we have it for you. You can download it at habitguys.com/free. Habitguys.com/free. And it's a 3-step process of how to build an ironclad morning routine to to get you from waking up to prospecting, waking up to the gym, waking up to blank, to whatever it is that you should be doing. But obviously it should be prospecting, because that's the number one thing that agents avoid. But that's a huge one, Mike, because I remember, like, I'm not a morning person. I just wake up, I used to wake up and just go and just react. But that's why I had some good days, some bad days. But most of the days in my life were just average. And it wasn't until I started being intentional with my morning routine, writing things down, executing it, having an accountability partner at the time, right? Where I have to show it to somebody. So important to do so. So if you would like that morning routine, go ahead and download it and just check that out. You're gonna absolutely love it.
Yeah, and it's not like any other morning routine, because one of the things that we have to understand is we have to first build self-awareness as to the things in our routines that are bogging us down. And in a lot of cases, we don't even see it until we go through this exercise. So go ahead and download it today at habitguys.com/free.
That's so true. You will have that aha moment, right? Especially on step one, where you're like, oh my gosh, look at all the things I do that are not serving me.
Right.
Right?
Yep.
And
Negative.
you're like, negative, right? Step two, where you're like, oh my, yeah. So guys, check out that morning routine. You're gonna absolutely love it, right? It's ridiculous.
So that's the first step to building your blueprint to a powerful daily routine. The second step is strategic task management. Okay? Now this comes after your morning routine has wrapped up. Now, what we teach, right, and I teach all our students, the real focus is to understand what you are in control of and what you're not in control of, so we can focus on the things that'll get our business going instead of focusing on all these things that we can't control. So ultimately, what we need to do is follow our morning routine, set up something that gets us from waking up to prospecting. And then once we get prospecting, this is where strategic task management comes into play. So what are some things that you've leveraged to kind of help you like manage your day once you get going in the morning?
Well, for me, it was WWW, right? Like what, when, and where. Like what am I doing and when am I doing it? Because simply writing down gym or my spiritual practice or whatever, or prospecting, just I have to be specific as to when I'm going to prospect, who I'm going to prospect to, what time am I going to prospect to. So actually getting specific as to when I'm going to do that task. Because if you were to ask someone, hey Mike, hey, when do you go to the gym? And you say, well, I go 3 times a week. And no, but what days do you go? Well, sometimes it's Tuesday. Guess what? That person probably is not going consistently to the gym, because just based on their answer, if you're not specific, ask any top producer, high producer, any high impact, ask an athlete when they work out. Guess what they'll tell you? They'll tell you when they're doing weight training. They'll tell you when they're doing specific HIIT workouts. They'll tell you when they're doing their sport activities. They are specific because they know exactly when, what, and where they're going to do something. So for me, it was being specific.
Right. And in fact, the research backs this up. For goals that get completed statistically, when researchers were looking into this, and it could be health goals, it could be business goals, the 2 things that were critical was that the goal needs to be specific and it needs to be measurable. So by understanding what you're doing, where you're doing it, and when you're doing it, you're allowing that specificity and that measurability to take place. So the other thing that I would add is what we teach in our coaching program is what we call the daily efficiency sheet, right? So what that does is it takes a look at your entire day and it allows you to, time block, right? But more importantly, you go through a process of understanding how to prioritize certain actions, certain responsibilities throughout your day, not only based on priority to your business, but also tailored to your energy. It's important to understand that for most people, most agents, we are morning people. And I don't mean like morning, like 6 o'clock morning. I mean, we are productive the first 8 hours of the day that we are awake. Okay? And then the second 8 hours of the day, we're normally, our energy hits some sort of dip where we're not as creative. Our cognitive focus isn't the same. So we need to shift our activities to match our energy level so we start those actions, those practices, those strategies. So our daily efficiency sheet really helps us design our day, right? Again, that's what we're talking about, daily routine, to really get the things done tied to our energy levels, not just that's congruent with growing our business, but that's basically congruent with us taking action and moving forward with all the different strategies we want to implement.
And I don't think agents realize when their brain is like caveman mode.
Right.
That they should do, you know that feeling when you're just brain dead.
Yeah.
Right? You're like, oh my gosh, I can't think of anything. I don't think agents realize that that's when they should be doing the tasks that don't require much mental creativity or processing.
Right.
Right? It should be more of an admin type of thing, right?
And you should be doing, ideally you should be doing tasks that are very exactly administrative or really simple to do, like this is a great time to surf on social media, because what are you doing
awesome.
while you're
Right.
surfing on social media? You're looking at things. Now, of course, we want to be strategic with this, but what you're looking for really as an agent is looking to complement your sphere, right? If they have a graduation, a birthday, some sort of wedding, right? You want to hop in there and give some sort of compliment to re-engage your sphere. So this is a strategic way that doesn't take a lot of cognitive effort for you to stay building relationships, okay?
Absolutely.
So ultimately, those are some of the things to implement when using strategic task management. So that was step 2 of this blueprint to create your powerful daily routine. Now, step 3 is reflective evening routine. So we started in the morning, right? We got to the middle of the day, and now let's talk about how we wrap up our day.
Yeah, and this is overlooked big time because in our space, you don't really hear about evening routine. Mm-hmm. That's not a gimmicky kind of word. People always talk about morning. Yeah, that's great, but how are you wrapping up your day? I'm actually going through this right now in my life where, thank God our business is blowing up. Mm-hmm. We are growing beyond it's just, but what that's also causing a problem is my end of day and my bedtime are clashing.
Right.
So I'm not really winding down to go to bed.
Right.
My brain's active. I'm still wrapping up my meetings. I have so many ideas, and then I'm excited to work because I love what I'm doing. Mm-hmm. But now I'm noticing I'm crashing into the bed and I'm not sleeping as well. So then, and that starts a domino effect because if I'm not winding down correctly, I'm not sleeping well. It takes me longer to go to sleep, and my watch shows me that, right? And then I'm waking up not as refreshed, not as recharged, and then that starts a domino effect that now recently this week I actually made changes into my routine to make sure I'm creating now more of a buffer. So I'm gonna start actually waking up earlier in the morning and then ending earlier in the afternoon, in the evening as well. So I have an hour or two kind of wind down and go into my my evening routine.
Yeah, it makes a ton of sense. And a couple of things to note here. Obviously, we teach this, we coach this. And it's important to understand that we still go through it.
Oh, absolutely.
We still have ebbs and flows in our lives, in our personal lives, in our business that gets us up and down. So it's important to always reflect back on your day. And that's one of the things that we talk about and we teach in the daily efficiency sheet, where we reflect back on the day and we actually grade ourselves based on how effective we are on honoring our day, right? The other thing that's really important to understand about reflecting on our evening routine is making sure that we are winding down, we are spending time now with the people that matter to us, maybe even giving time to yourself in the evening. But most importantly is getting adequate sleep, okay?
Yeah.
Something that a lot of people don't realize is that the things that you try to learn and implement and improve on, the changes in your brain for you to recall that information the next day and the day after that aren't changed at the time when you're reading or when you're watching the video or when you're taking that task or prospecting. No, in fact, the change occurs when you sleep. So this is why it's so critical to get very good sleep. It can range anywhere from 6 to 8 hours depending on the individual, but you need to get quality sleep and then you do reap the benefits of all the hard work you put in during the day.
Yeah, even muscle. I heard muscle grows in your sleep, right? Mm-hmm. I had a trainer was telling me, you need to sleep.
Yeah.
You're always about output, right? Like muscle building, weight room, training, but if you're not sleeping, you're not going to reap the benefits of muscle gain as well, right? Or fat loss.
Exactly.
As well when you're sleeping.
Yeah. So if you're one of these realtors that just aren't following through with what you should be doing, right? You know exactly what you need to do. You've read the books, you have the dialer, you have the tools. yet you're just not following through, I want to give you guys an opportunity right now to sign up for a free coaching consultation where we're going to dive into your business and help you understand what you can do better to build the right habits to prospect consistently. So to get that free coaching consultation, go ahead and sign up at www.habitguys.com/call. Again, that's habitguys.com/call. All right, so that wraps up this episode. Just to recap, the 3-step blueprint to create a powerful morning routine consists of energizing a morning launch, strategic task management, and reflective evening routines. All right, so in closing, here is the missing piece to your business. It's knowing that just because you know better doesn't necessarily mean that you will do better. You do better when we change your habits. So let us help.